What is going on, everyone? Israel back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, this has been a really interesting team over the last couple of seasons. We obviously know this team has made the playoffs multiple seasons in a row. Ever since our first title back in 2018, this team has really been consistently making it multiple times over and over again. But they haven't had any really postseason success at all. The only one they had in 2018 was when they beat the Rockies 3-0. And then they lost to the Dodgers in 4-3. That was the only time where we really felt like the Brewers actually were good, I feel like, in the postseason. Ever since that 2018 season, they've won one game in the postseason, which was against the Atlanta Braves in 2021. So still an impressive win, I think, to take, one game off the World Series champions in that point, but this team just really hasn't been good. Obviously, last year they went 92-70, winning the division, getting first place. They unfortunately lost to the Arizona Diamondbacks, who go on to the World Series. They lost that wildcard series 2-0. They probably should have won at least one of those games. I mean, I thought one of the games were definitely winnable for them, but just bad pitching in general kind of stopped them from doing that, because they definitely looked confident in that series, and I really did think the Brewers were going to win it. I didn't really have faith in the Diamondbacks, to be honest. But so that being said, going into 2024, everyone has this team projected pretty low from last season. They got rid of Corbin Burns, obviously, which is a big, minus to the squad. Obviously, Brendan Woodruff is on the 60-day IL, so that's really not good at all. So we definitely have some downsides to this team. I don't really know why people are saying they're not going to be in the playoffs. I think that's kind of dumb in my opinion. Out of the last 6 seasons, they made the playoffs 5 times, so I really don't know why people are saying that. It doesn't really make much sense to me. Because me personally, I have this team in the 3rd wildcard spot as the 6th seed in the postseason. I think they might have a chance to win the division just depending on how they go, but I just think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know why they wouldn't make the playoffs. They've been doing it consistently, and it's not like the team has really gotten much worse. Yeah, the pitching's definitely taken a hit for me, but they have made some good acquisitions as well. And when we talk about those acquisitions as we go into the contracts of this team, we obviously know that they did pick up a guy like Gary Sanchez. They did pick up a guy like Rhys Hoskins. So let's take a look at these contracts. Let's start with that Rhys Hoskins contract, which we mentioned. It's 1 year, $12 million for 2024, and then for 2025 and 2026, he has a player/mutual option. That's going to be an interesting time. We'll see if he stays. I'm actually really curious to see if he's going to stay on that one. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but we're going to wait and see. Obviously, starting at the top, we have Yelich's massive contract that he signed in 2020. Obviously, this goes through 2028, and then they got a mutual option for 29, so he's locked up for a little bit. Aaron Ashby signed that new contract last season. He's going to go till 2027 with a team option for 28 and 29. Freddie Peralta is still locked up for a little bit. He's got this season and then team options for 5 and 6, which will probably get extended in my opinion. Wade Miley's here for one more season, and then he's got a mutual option in 25. And then Jacob Jennis got a 1-year deal. He's got a mutual option for 25 as well. And then we obviously know Gary Sanchez signed that 1-year contract during the offseason. So those are guys currently on contract. If we take a look at their arbitration guys, we have guys like Brendan Woodruff. Obviously, this is his last season on this contract, but we'll see what his stats look like at the end of this season, just because we know he's gotten injured a lot and we know he's kind of banged up. He's 31 years old going into that free agency. I definitely think he's going to get a contract. I don't know if it's going to be for Milwaukee, but he definitely should get signed. Willie Adames is another good player that is also going to be on the free agent market. He's currently 28 years old going into 2024, so 29 when he hits the free agent market. Definitely a solid player, and I think he's pretty underrated too. And then we got a lot of their other players in that arbitration phase right now. If we take a look at the team's financial situation, they have about $60.3 million committed to the squad. If add in all arbitration and all that good stuff, it's about $106.2 million plus the Gary Sanchez contract, which is currently not on Baseball Reference. $106 million, I think, is not that, it's actually not bad for a small market team. And I like that they have actually a good shot to get in the postseason, and to be honest, because, I think this team's really solid on paper, and I do think they definitely got a shot to get back in there. And you might be asking yourself, am I crazy? Because everyone has their projection low. Everyone doesn't think this team is good and all that good stuff. And I think this is the key factor that no one's talking about. Let's take a look at their prospect situation. They have 5 players on the MLB top 100 right now for the Brewers. So let's go through all these players, because I think all these players will probably play this season. Starting off at number 2 on the top 100 is Jackson Churro. He signed that massive contract in the offseason and hasn't even played one game yet in the MLB, which is insane. He signed January 15, 2021 with Milwaukee. His ETA is 2024. And we take a look at his last seasons. 2023, he played really good in AA. It's where he spent 122 games, which is pretty incredible. Then he spent 6 games in AAA and hit pretty well. I think they knew that this kid was going to be good. That's why they gave him that massive contract in the offseason. And I also think he's going to be a very good prospect. And I think he's going to be really good for this squad moving forward. Obviously, he's currently in spring training right now, so you can go check him out and see what his stats are like and see what they're going for. But man, this kid's going to be something special, I think, in Milwaukee. And I think they're smart to give him that massive extension. We've seen this in the past with certain players, like rookies getting locked up. I think it's incredibly smart. We saw it with Rafael Devers, I'm pretty sure. Julio Rodriguez is, the main one we're seeing it with. But I think players like this and getting locked up, we even saw Wander Franco when he was in the league. I think it's just a good idea in general for the organization. So yeah, excited to watch him play in the MLB this year. Coming in at number 33 is Jacob Mizorikoski, however you pronounce that last name, not totally sure. He got drafted in 2022 in the 2nd round, the 63rd pick from Milwaukee. His ETA is 2025. So if we take a look at some of his stats right here, he's pitched in pretty much almost almost all the minor league levels, A, high A, and double A, which is pretty interesting. His worst wasn't that double A last year, so, you know, we're going to see how he goes. 21 innings in that one, not the best at a 5.57 ERA. His minor league career is at a 3.45 ERA, so not even that bad. Definitely going to be interesting to see how his develop is going to go, because we don't really know what he's going to start. I mean, probably in double A this season, but man, it's going to be interesting to see how many runs he's going to give up. I mean, his innings, he pitched 71 innings this season, so that's pretty solid overall. He had 110 Ks, so the K to innings ratio is pretty good. So yeah, once again, he's got time to develop if it's 2025, but definitely interesting to see how his 2024 is going to go. So number 35 on their list is Jeffrey Quirko. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was signed on July 2nd, 2019 from Milwaukee. His ETA is 2024. So let's take a look at his stats right here. His 2023 season was spent in double A, batted at 262 in about 90 games. So his minor league career overall has been pretty solid at 278 batting average, and he's honestly been pretty good. He's projected this year, which is definitely interesting for the catching spot, because they definitely have some catchers like William Contreras. I think is one of their best catchers, players in general. I think he's really solid. So I think it'll be interesting to see if he takes his spot or if he's going to DH or something like this, but he is projected for 2024, which is definitely interesting. Coming in on 46 on the ranking is Tyler Black. He was drafted in 2021 in one of those compensation picks, 33 from Milwaukee. His ETA is 2024. This kid is definitely solid overall. In 39 games, he batted 310 in AAA, so pretty solid overall. Had a decent amount of hits. If we take a look at his 2023 stats, he batted really well, batting 273 in AA and then 310 in AAA, which is pretty solid. And he played 123 games, so definitely a solid player. Definitely excited to see how good he is. Like I said, he's projected for 2024. You know, he plays third and first, so definitely could help this team out a lot. It'd definitely be exciting to see him in the league. Coming in at number 63 is Joey Ortiz, which is an interesting player. He was drafted in 2019, 4th round, 108th by Baltimore. His ETA is 2024. You guys might recognize his name. He was actually in the trade for Corbin Burns, you know, when they got DL Hall and Joey Ortiz. He was in that trade. He batted 212 with Baltimore last season in 15 games. Had 7 hits, had 1 double, so nothing crazy stats like that in the MLB. When he was in the minors and he was in AAA, he batted 321 there, so definitely a solid player overall. Definitely just got to find his home in the MLB. I think the Brewers are definitely going to give him that chance. So he's probably going to start in 2024 or play in with the Brewers in 2024. Definitely should be an exciting player. I mean, we'll see how good he is. I mean, he's definitely ranked highly on the top 100 prospects, so we'll see. You know, maybe the Brewers got their next guy. So these are the 5 players from Milwaukee that I really expect to be up in 2024. I think these guys can be definitely game changers for this squad. They're pretty much all hitters, which, like we said, the pitching is kind of the main problem that people are seeing with this squad. I think if they just out-hit teams, it's definitely possible that they can get dubs on the board. And I think, like I said, this team is definitely interesting overall. I definitely have this team in the postseason in the Central. Probably the wild card, though. I don't really see them winning the division, though. I do think they took a little step back, but I think teams like the Reds and Cubs are definitely stronger squads to make moves, at least in the division, because I think those teams are just far ahead better than them, especially with some of the players they've signed. I'm definitely excited to see how this team performs this year. Definitely be an interesting season for them. What do you guys think about the Brewers moving forward? Do you think this squad is still a playoff team, or where do you see this squad going? With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, everyone.